loudly that the Egyptians heard it, and the household of Pharaoh heard it. Joseph said to his brothers, "I am Joseph. Is my father still alive?" But his brothers could not answer him, so dismayed were they at his presence. Then Joseph said to his brothers, "Come closer to me." And they came closer, and he said, "I am your brother Joseph, whom you sold into Egypt. And now do not be distressed or angry with yourselves because you sold me here. For God sent me before you to preserve life. For the famine has been in the land these 2 years, and there are 5 more years in which there will be neither plowing nor harvest. God sent me before you to preserve for you a remnant on earth and to keep alive for you many survivors. So it was not you who sent me here, but God. He has made me a father to Pharaoh and lord of all his house and ruler over all the land of Egypt. Hurry and go up to my father and say to him, 'Thus says your son Joseph, God has made me lord of all Egypt. Come down to me. Do not delay. You shall settle in the land of Goshen, and you shall be near me, you and your children and your children's children, as well as your flocks, your herds, and all that you have. I will provide for you there, since there are 5 more years of famine to come, so that you and your household and all that you have will not come to poverty. And now your eyes and the eyes of my brother Benjamin see that it is my own mouth that speaks to you. You must tell my father how greatly I am honored in Egypt and all that you have seen. Hurry and bring my father down here." Then he fell upon his brother Benjamin's neck and wept, while Benjamin wept upon his neck. And he kissed all his brothers and wept upon them. And after that his brothers talked to him. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
Good morning. I'm Dale Peterson. I'm a newly hatched deacon here at Eastwoods. And it is my privilege today to read from the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verses 21 to 28. Okay. Jesus left that place and went away to the district of Tyre and Sidon. Just then, a Canaanite woman from that region came out and started shouting, "Have mercy on me, Lord, Son of David, my daughter is tormented by a demon." But he did not answer her at all. And his disciples came and urged him, saying, "Send her away, for she keeps shouting after us." He answered, "I was sent only only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." But she came and knelt before him, saying, "Lord, help me." He answered, "It is not fair to take the children's food and throw it to the dogs." She said, "Yes, Lord, yet even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table." Then Jesus answered her, "Woman, great is your faith. Let it be done for you as you wish." And her daughter was healed from that moment. May the Lord bless His reading of His holy word. Thanks be to God.
Will you join me in prayer? Oh God, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of each of our hearts be acceptable in your sight. For you, O Lord, are our rock and our salvation. Amen. So just a personal note, I did see my surgeon this week, and he took off that brace and said, "I'll throw it away for you." Well, maybe you want to keep it. But I don't have to wear the brace. He said that I've done a beautiful job of recovering from the surgery that he performed, and now is the painful process of learning to walk again. So as I've said, I first learned to walk when I was 18 months, and I'm learning to walk again. Amen. Amen. So I hold in my hand my Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance card. This is an amazing insurance for me and my husband, and you pay for it as a part of my salary package, as has every employing organization that has called me since I was 25 years of age. And I am so grateful because I know how hard it is to have good insurance, and I know how much it costs. And there are a lot of people who are either underinsured or not insured at all. I was so grateful when my kids were young adults and our nation extended insurance to the age of 26, so that my young adult children who were underemployed but graduates of college could have health insurance. And I experienced what happened when they went off and how hard it was to find insurance for them. And at one point, because of 2 catastrophic events in our family, we were on the edge of financial disaster because we could not have full insurance for our children. Now, you all know that national health care is complex, and we study and we try to understand. And if the indigent do not have health insurance, we know who pays for it. You know who pays for it. Surely there is not enough care to go around in this nation, and some people are just left out. So Genesis this morning gives us a version, the same kind of version of scarcity. There is not enough grain. So Joseph's brothers travel to Egypt because there's a famine in their land. They cannot feed, they cannot take care of their family. And they're not thinking about this little brother that they sold into slavery years before. They're thinking about feeding hungry bellies, about caring for their flocks, and they are totally focused on their needs. But God, in God's great providence, has already put someone in a seat in Egypt, where the grains, the bread of the whole world of that time is known and measured out. And not just for Israel's household, but for Egypt, for surrounding nations, for many survivors, Joseph says. God's imagination for who gets fed, who gets cared for, is always bigger than the brothers had bothered to imagine. They were not looking for their little brother when they came to Egypt. But God had already decided that he would be there. And the grand reunion of the brothers, as Cynthia read for us this morning, is one of those great passages in Scripture. Joseph states, "You meant it for evil, my brothers, but God worked it for good." You see, God is all about working things together for good, for everyone. And the tears that flow in this story are something to meditate upon. Tears of joy, tears of regret, tears of longing. And then Matthew gives us a kind of reversal on this story, on the other side of the line. You see, a woman, a Canaanite woman, and when he uses that name, Matthew uses that name, he's calling back on the most loaded, most red flag name for an outsider he has. It means nothing to us, but to say Canaanite would mean everyone who's outside the border of care. And she comes, this woman, this Canaanite woman, crying for her daughter. And Jesus says out loud, which most of the people around him are thinking, "I was sent only for a few, for the lost house of Israel. I wasn't sent for you." We're not going to throw this precious bread that we have to dogs like you. There's not enough for you. And Matthew uses a term that we don't pick up in English, but in the Greek, it's not wild dogs, it's little household dogs, like we like to have in our homes. And the woman isn't confused about this, about the rules. She's heard Jesus. She understands exactly where the line was drawn. and she's standing on the wrong side of it. And then she says this amazing phrase, well, even the dogs get crumbs that fall from the table. She doesn't argue that the boundary is unfair. She doesn't demand a seat at the table. She simply refuses to accept that the boundary means that there's nothing left for her. And Jesus heals her daughter of this demon that is possessing her precious daughter. Not because the system found room for them at the table, but because she believed that there was more mercy in Jesus than there was scarcity in the cultural and religious systems of her day. And that Canaanite woman was absolutely right. Friends, we can all live in our own worlds. It's so easy to live in our own bubbles. It's so easy to step into the Vancouver Clinic on the second floor and show them my card and get every right and privilege. But you've been given rights and privileges and relationships and our imaginations for exactly this: to bless others, to open doors for others, to give people a glimpse of the boundless power of God at work in the world, to provide opportunities for each other. So I think and pray about all of you. That's my job. And for a while I was praying for April Paulat to experience some kind of mission service. You, April. You see, I believe that every young person needs to go on a mission trip, and I'm not a Mormon. And I was praying for Toby too. You see, I've organized over 25 mission trips in my life and ministry for kids, for young adults, who've gone to Jamaica and Mexico, Appalachia, Maine, Taiwan, the Puyallup, Yakima, Hopi, Dene, Navajo reservations. And I've seen lives transformed, doors open, crumbs picked up and realized in the crumb there's bounty for all. There's nothing like service. And I hadn't thought of Ingalls Creek as an opportunity for service where I sit on the board of directors at all, not once. And then one day, it just hit me. Why not invite April and Toby, both of them, to apply to be summer fellow interns at Ingalls Creek? But you see, there were rules that did not fit them. I thought, ooh, the doors are shut, the table is closed, but why not try? And a door opened. And now they've gone and they've come back, and they've met so many interesting people. And their imaginations about the possibilities in this world have been expanded. There's plenty of bread to go around. God's imagination for what God can do through us is unbelievable. What God can provide is always bigger than the boundaries we've gotten used to in our little world. But we must admit we like our walls and our boundaries, who's in and who's out. And thank goodness that we serve a God who works beyond our wildest imaginations, that there are crumbs everywhere to be shared. So I'd like to invite April and Toby forward to share some of their experiences from this past summer. Welcome home.
Okay. Hi, my name's April, and we had the opportunity for 10 weeks to go up to Leavenworth and Peshastin in the Upper Valley area and kind of serve the community. And this is kind of what we did. So we had a group of 4 fellows. So we had. Can you hear okay? No, louder. Okay. So we had 4 fellows this summer. We had me and Toby, and then we had Alden, who is from Utah, and he is a friend of one of the other staff members at Ingalls Creek, and he did a lot of the building and grounds and just everything around that. This is Andrew. Andrew is our 4th fellow.
Yeah, hi, I'm Andrew. I got to work with adults with special needs in town. Do you want me to say more now or wait? Okay. I had the opportunity to get to work with adults with developmental disabilities and get to go on walks with them, go to the gym with them, just get to become friends with them, get to know them. We hosted a group of them at Ingalls Creek to do a Disney karaoke night, and that was a lot of fun. And I really got to enjoy just getting to know these folks that are created in God's image and that have so much awesome stuff to share with the world. So, yeah.
Andrew is also the only one that actually applied how he was supposed to apply. And they do the fellowship program through Whitworth University, and Andrew just graduated from there in May. Yeah, in May. So that's our 4th fellow. So starting off with my role, I worked with Upper Valley Mend, which is a nonprofit that helps people in the community throughout the entire Upper Valley. So we have a thrift shop where all the proceeds to the thrift shop go to the cupboard and just other various opportunities that they have. I worked a little bit at the thrift shop. I was not a huge fan, so I moved over to the cupboard, where it's like a food bank. Okay. Thanks, Toby. It's like a food bank, but it's also like a grocery store. So anybody can come in, and you have 150 points for the month, and you just get to come in and spend those points however you want. But you only get 150, which some people had problems with. But this was in Leavenworth, right off the main street. So we spent a lot of time doing that. We got a bunch of stuff from different warehouses, and Safeway has a contract with them, and we would go get grocery rescue 6 days a week from them, and they would just bring in all the stuff that was past the best buy date but not completely expired. And then that middle picture of the guy eating is my boss, but there wasn't enough room to put it in the next slide. So I did a lot of gleaning this summer. We did over 2,000 pounds of fruits and vegetables and other produce, somewhere around here. Okay. We did strawberries, cherries, squash, turnips, nectarines, peaches, apricots, radishes, onions, kohlrabi, parsley, basil, lavender, plums, golden plums, apples, cabbage, lettuce, peas, carrots, tomatoes, and cucumbers. But yeah, so that was such a great experience. It was great to be able to experience what I used to have to go through when my family was a recipient of gleaning, and then I got to glean for other people. The picture in the corner is a little snail that Toby made when he went gleaning with us, and yeah.
I think I've heard of that. My volunteer position was at the Kashmir Museum and Pioneer Village. It is a collection of artifacts from the Wenatchee tribe, and there's, I think, 14 cabins from the Pioneer Village that were originally built in Plain and I forget where else, but they were disassembled and reassembled on the property of the Kashmir Museum. At the beginning of the summer, I was like landscaping and just taking care of the building a little bit. And then after that, I kind of ran out of tasks to do. So I was photocopying most of the time. So historical documents, yeah. There was logging, and there was the Highline Canal that aggregates 7,000 acres along Leavenworth and to Kashmir. Among lots of other photos. So the learning experience was very fun, but it was kind of boring to just be photocopying inside all day. Until like halfway through the summer, I asked Susan, our our coordinator, if I could go gleaning with April on Mondays and Tuesdays because the museum was closed those days. And she said yes. So the second half of the summer was a little more fun because I got to go gleaning with April. And then the last 2 weeks, we started doing inventory in one of the cabins and inventory inside one of the inventory rooms inside the museum. So that was fun. Okay, sure. On Fridays, we had work days at Ingalls Creek. I think the first week we were just moving rocks and leveling out a camp area with gravel, and I accidentally smashed April's rock with a finger. Or rock with a finger. Finger with a rock. The first way would have been more entertaining. There was a shed, or a barn warehouse that was donated to Ingalls Creek about 12 or 20 years ago that didn't have a high enough snow rating to be built or to get permits to build it. So we had to move all of the metal that was going to be used to build that out from a little meadow area down in the lower part of the camp. And then in the bottom two pictures and the one on the right, we leveled out an area and we dug out trenches for irrigation pipes. And Alan Walters built those, the planters on the right, and we installed them and leveled them and filled them. And I think the middle picture is us cleaning the lodge. Is that before day camp? The lodge is, it has multiple, I guess, apartments in it that people can reserve and stay at. So one of the Fridays we were just cleaning and not refurbishing. We were flipping the lodge. That's what we were doing. I think that's about it.
So for one of the weeks, we got to do theater camp. And theater camp is where we work with, 40 or so special needs people throughout the entire Upper Valley that would come, and we would put on a play in about 5 days, which they listen a lot better than high schoolers do, so it was a lot easier to do. But we did Guys and Dolls. That was a lot of fun. I had a few gamblers. Toby had a person with a bigger role. Andrew had he had someone in the mission band. Yeah, okay. And then, so yeah, we put that on in we did from Sunday to Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday were our productions. But that was just a great opportunity to hang out with new people and get to know and figure out how to navigate some of the troubles and struggles that they have. So we did day camp, and during day camp, we had a week where we had a bunch of second through graders come here, and we had them at camp for about 5 days, for a couple hours, and we just taught them, and we played with them, and we had a couple of great opportunities to just learn with them. We had one day was a pirate day, and so that is why Toby is in a dress. But we met some really great people, and it was just a great experience to be able to hang out with new people and kind of grow our expertise in being counselors. So come here. We have one camp song that we want to do with you guys because we had a lot of fun doing it. But, okay, so you guys all need to stand up for like 2 minutes, please. So this is called River of Life, and there are emotions in this. So the first part is, I've got a river of life flowing out of me, makes the lame to walk and the blind to see, open the prison doors, set the captives free. I've got a river of life flowing out of me. And then the chorus goes, spring up a well, and then the men are going to go, splish, splash, and the women are going to go, drip, drop. Okay. So we'll try it. We've got Allison who's going to play with us. Okay, so we're going to do one more, song. This is called Chicky Chicky, and we're going to call one of you guys up, but we'll limit how many people and who, but okay. One, two, three, four.
Hey, I don't know your name, but the guy who went to roll the stairs.
Okay, and then during all this chaoticness, we did a lot of exploring how God was working in our life, and our biggest way of that was just seeing His creation all around Leavenworth. So in my slide, my lovely boss took a picture of me taking a picture while I was supposed to be working. But that picture is up in the lavender. There is a bee in there. You can't really see it. But it was just really cool to be able to see. We spent a lot of time with bees. I did get stung once. It was great. But we spent a lot of time just watching them, hearing them like buzz around the lavender, and working with that. And then the two next to it, the one next to it and the one below that, is at the rock, and it's called the Confluence Rock. And the Confluence Rock is where two streams meet. So we have the Ingalls Creek that meets and the Pashaston Creek that meet, and they create this analogy that two streams meet together and it creates one. So we spent a lot of time on that rock, and that was just it was a great place. There's no cell service, so you couldn't be on your phone. It was just a great place to just listen. There was really nothing else out there except for a few people trying to find gold. They failed. But yeah, it was just great to hang out there and watch the water, listen to the water, and kind of just see how God can really create beautiful things.
We saw shapes in the rocks.
We did see shapes in the rocks while we were sitting there. We spent a good number of hours sitting on the Confluence Rock and on the rocks in the creek. There were a bunch of different ones where you could just make weird animals or shapes or things out of it. Outside of work, we went on a very annoying hike the last week that we were there. We went on a closing retreat, and we went and hiked up Lake Valhalla, which is a 12-mile hike, which none of these pictures show my blood, sweat, and tears that went into this, but I was not a happy camper. The bottom picture is at our campground that we stayed at. It is one of the only pictures I have of the four of us. It's not that we didn't like Alden, he just never wanted to hang out with us. And then we went to Wenatchee for the 4th of July, so we got to bring Andrew down to that. And then every Sunday we made pizza. So Susan would make dough, and then we would just put whatever toppings we wanted on the pizza. I'm super thankful that we got to meet Andrew this summer. We had a lot of fun with him. Him and Toby and I really made really great friends. And we went to lunch with him. We climbed a tree with him. Toby and Andrew just really clicked, and apparently they're best friends now. We did play a really high-stakes poker game, otherwise known as nothing, because we're all broke. But we played with Doug's dad and his family were there, and then, yeah. And while we were there, said everything else.
I'm probably not going to be able to get all the way to it either. Throughout the summer, April basically planned out her own proposal. Because I think the first week that we got there, we went on a tour of, just the whole campground. We got to the rock, and as we were leaving the rock and walking back towards the houses, April said that we should come back to the rock, and just hang out, maybe read our Bibles and ask each other questions. And it just became our kind of about bi-weekly meeting spot. We would just sit there. Sometimes we would talk. Sometimes we would just sit there and watch the creek go by. So she was completely oblivious when we went to the rock one day. It was also a day that April's mom and her best friend came up, and her friend is a photographer, so I asked her to take pictures and videos while I proposed. And it's just the perfect metaphor of two streams come together to make one.
It is also great because the Ingalls Creek is a lot more of a rockier creek, and the Peshastin Creek is a lot more of a mellower creek, and obviously I'm the mellow one, and Toby's not. No. But they come together, and after they come together, there is still some crazy parts to it, but it does go a lot smoother. Yeah, so, yeah, more details to come with that, I guess. My best friend is not a photographer. She just takes all of our pictures. But yeah, I did, in fact, almost ruin it twice because I decided I wanted to do my own thing. My bad. But yeah, so November of 2027, that's about all the details we have. So we'll let you guys know more about that when that becomes more of a thing. Overall, we had a really great summer. We met a lot of great people. We have a lot of opportunities. We got a lot of experience, and we thank you guys for allowing us to go up there, and for Joyce for giving us the opportunity to go up there. And we had a great time. It was really fun to get to do a new thing. Neither one of us have been away from our parents for 10 weeks or longer than one. So it was just a great opportunity, and we would love to go back up at some point again.
Well, maybe I'll use that mic. Since you're not back there turning out. Toby!
So we are so grateful that you were willing to have this grand adventure and for all the lessons learned and the privilege of praying for you. And we do wish you both the very best as God opens new doors. And we're grateful for all the friends you made. So let's stand, shall we, and let's join in singing, Oh, for a World.